Well, we've had some questions, so I thought I'd answer them. Someone said, what do I need to do if I want to set up an aquarium? Well, I guess the first thing is be prepared. Patience is a virtue and also a required element, just the same as water and fish. Now, this is going to sound a little bit silly, but the first thing you really want to do is decide whether you want to keep fish or not. When you keep fish, it is a responsibility. They're animals. You know, they're no different to dogs or cats, really. Well, you don't take them for walks, admittedly, but... So, the first thing I would suggest is decide, first of all, what type of fish you want to keep. Now, decide on what you want to keep and be realistic. You know, if you're starting out on the hobby, you obviously want something that is going to be easy to keep. Now, for me, I wouldn't recommend guppies. I would recommend mollies and platies. Live berries are very entertaining and very good. But guppies, unfortunately, at the moment, they are ferocious breeders and you will be overwhelmed in a matter of months, and this may cause some problems. Secondly, decide how big you want a tank. You've got to make sure you've got the room for it. You've got to make sure you've got power sockets. You need three power sockets, and you need it for a heater. Now, a formula I use is 1 watt per litre. That will give you an idea. You also want a filter that's going to turn over the water a minimum of 4 times every hour. So if you've got 100 litres, you want a minimum of a 400 litre an hour filter. Now, when they quote filter, they'll say, oh, this will do an 800 litre. What they mean to say is, when it's filled with media and when it's in the tank, it's probably going to do half that. So remember, always over filter. You also need some chemicals, and be prepared to do water changes. Water changes are what keep a tank in balance. Now, balance is important with a tank. As you can see, this tank was set up in a hurry, but because I had a filter that done the job in another tank, we could use it. Now, at the moment, they're still being very acclimatized. These fish here are all asleep. See that? All asleep because I've turned the light on. And if you want live plants, which these guys really love, you want a different substrate. Normal pebbles just won't do. You need an active substrate. Something like I think it's called Fluval stratum. That's a pretty good one. But you don't need it. I mean, these guys here are attached to items. That's a coconut or half coconut shell, and that's a bit of mapani wood, and they do great. You will have to fill them with fertilizers. Now, so also, once you've got it near the 3 sockets, you're going to put it on there and make sure that whatever you put it on can carry the weight. These, I mean, I think it's 1 litre of water weighs 1 kilo. But you've also got the substrate as well. So if you've got 8 kilos of substrate, you know, you're looking at a 100 litre tank now weighs 150 kilos of water and substrate. So you've got to be careful with that. And also you're going to have to do water changes at least once a week. So it may not be a lot. I mean, out of here, you'd probably take a couple of inches out the top. But you obviously need a water source, so that's paramount. The chemicals you're going to want are a dechlorinator, which do chloramine and chlorine. That's important. Make sure it does both. You want some cleaning stuff. You want to clean the glass. I'd say the best thing to clean the glass with, if you do it, is the scourers with the sponges on. Nice and gently, nowhere near the sand. Leave a little bit. Algae's not bad, and if you get a balance. Now, when you turn the lights on, if you've got live plants, don't have the lights on any more than 7 hours, okay? That's paramount. And if you have just plastic ones, you only need them on when you're viewing the fish, really. I do think that fish do have patterns of sleep, so that is important as well. So bear all these things in mind, and you will find that your fish keeping will be great. Now, with fish, test your water, get a test kit. Yeah, API do a good test kit, and there is another one out there. Aquamedics do one. Test your water, because this water that's in this tank comes out of my tap with nitrate in it, 50%, well, 50 parts per million nitrate. Yeah, now that's obviously no good. And the water I took out when I done the water change on this was only 30 parts per million, which means the aquarium is actually very balanced, because the plants are feeding off the nitrates. The second thing is temperature. Make sure you keep a balanced temperature. Again, with the same formula, 1 watt per litre. Now, once you've done this to set it up, I'm not going to bore you with the cycle. There's plenty of videos out there that tell you about the cycle, but this is really important, okay? Make sure you cycle it properly. Patience, patience, patience. I can't say that enough. That is the key to success. If you rush things, it will ruin it. You'll kill animals, and you'll just be you'll be throwing it away within months. So guys, I hope that answers some of the questions that I've been answered. Also, there's one other thing as well. When you test your water, make sure you test it before you do your water change, and 2 or 3 days after you've done your water change. Water tends to change, I've noticed. I mean, I used to have a shop many moons ago, and now I see the differences in the fish from now. I mean, 40 years in the game. And I do believe a lot of it is because a lot of the fish are being bred differently. And when you go and buy fish, ask the person selling the fish the water parameters. Never tip the water that the bag is in into your tank, ever, because it's medicated. They do that on purpose. And if there's any questions to this, please, please, please put a comment on there, and I'll put another one of these videos together. Let's have a quick look at the Sleeping Beauties up here. They are gorgeous, aren't they? I'll tell you something now. This sport, this hobby, this pastime, whatever you want to call it, is more rewarding than many. And when you see fish like that, she's pregnant, it really, really brings home how important this is. Guys, have a lovely day. Take care.